There's a small antique store in Bristol, tucked between two modern buildings, almost like time forgot it. Locals call it Mr. Elric's Curiosity Shop, but if you ask around, no one remembers seeing it open, except for one person, Callum Ridge, a 19-year-old student from London. Welcome to Shadow Speak. Callum was visiting Bristol for a weekend photography trip. Walking through a quiet alley, he saw the shop. Old, wooden sign, dusty windows. Inside, shelves filled with hourglasses, pocket watches, and clocks from every century. An old man behind the counter, thin, pale, motionless, just staring. "Looking for something timeless?" he asked. Callum was drawn to a small desk clock, brass, worn with Roman numerals, and the second hand ticking backward. "This one's different," the man said. "It doesn't tell the time. It shows it, no price tag." The man handed it over and said, "It already belongs to you." That night, back at his Airbnb, Callum set the clock by his bed. At exactly 3:17 a.m., he woke up to a soft ticking sound. The second hand still moved in reverse. He checked his phone. 3:17 a.m. He blinked, then again. 3:16, 3:15. Time was going backward. He stood up and his phone slipped from his hand. But instead of hitting the floor, it floated upward, back into his fingers, unbroken, as if it had never fallen. The clock ticked on. His heart raced. He ran to the mirror and saw himself younger, slightly, but undeniably. The next morning, the clock was still ticking backward. Callum felt lighter, faster, smarter. By sunset, he looked 16 again. He tried to leave the apartment. The doorknob wouldn't turn. Outside the window, people were walking in reverse. Cars driving backward, raindrops rising into the clouds, and then his reflection smiled, but he wasn't smiling. The door finally creaked open. He ran through the empty alley back to the shop, but it was gone. No sign, no building, just a brick wall. In his pocket, the clock kept ticking back and back. Callum was never found, but to this day, some people walking through old alleys in Bristol claim they hear ticking behind the walls. And if you ever find a clock that runs in reverse,